What's your read on Caleb Williams saying he has not talked to DJ Moore about their miscommunication in overtime that produced an interception? Williams said he planned to eventually discuss how the two could get on the same page with all of his receivers, not just DJ
small
Moore.
Things like that that show up in those moments that you may not have talked about, but being on the same page or talking about it, maybe week 1 or week 6, it shows up in week 18 or whatever week we're in. And so, it's something that to learn from for myself, a learning experience. It's something for us to learn from as an offense and as a team. And we'll go do that at some point.
Your read on what you just heard there from QB1.
I had literally no problem with it at all. And I know there's like a certain amount of outrage about DJ Moore and, he didn't work hard enough in that play. And I'm not saying you're wrong, but I really felt, honestly, that he was compromised a little bit. And I think that when you go in the locker room and he's not there after the game, he's in the training room. He's getting some help. I think he's been really banged up, and I think he's been really injured. And, we don't have him on anymore as a guest. Otherwise, you'd hear from him because he's that kind of guy. I got nothing but respect and a real fondness for DJ Moore. Do I need to hear him explain what happened or what his thought process was? Do I sit here with bated breath wondering whether the two players will sit down and work it out and make sure there's no miscommunication? I do not, because of the finality of it. The idea that they're going to talk it over while they're working out together in the off season or the next time they get together. That sounds good. Go ahead, have a conversation. Hey, I wanted you to do this and you did that. Next time, run this way, right? Okay, yeah, I'll do that. I just don't know what people want, and I'm very curious to know why. Haven't you listened to DJ Moore talk enough? Do you need to hear from him? What is it that you want him to say? I'd love to know. And I just think that the finality of the season sometimes leaves you with this. I can't believe the speculation, DJ Moore's paid too much, they got to get rid of him. Okay, how are you going to get rid of him? What are you going to get in return for a player that means as much to you as he does, but might not mean? There's a certain madness going on in a segment of the population about DJ Moore that is kind of leaving me a little bit on the other side and a little bit confused.
Well, DJ Moore does usually answer the bell, if you will, and it's just doesn't seem like him to not talk after the game. And then we're not even sure if he was even at Hallis Hall yesterday. Did he show up? I mean, there were meetings, right? It's not just like go grab your right guard and your shampoo and your sponge and go home. I mean, they're talking to guys. They might be getting checked out by the medical staff a little bit. There's, hey, we'd like you to put on 5 pounds. We'd like you to drop 10 pounds. Not DJ, just in general, right? Like to work on this, work on that. Reminder, nothing good happens after midnight. All these kinds of things that they'll tell a player on the way. So I don't think the Bears are doing DJ Moore any favors by not letting us know what's going on. Like, hey, DJ met with the medical staff today. That's why I wasn't available. Something so that this is what we do. We're speculating because we are not given the information that we need to give. Are the Bears worried that he was too concussed to speak to the media? And then they're like, ooh, snap. We should have not maybe let him go back out there, even though maybe he said he was okay to go. I thought Kurt Warner nailed it with the afternoon show, talking about this might not be Caleb calling DJ or DJ calling Caleb, but it is a point of emphasis for the head coach, Ben Johnson, to write down. And when people get back together, this is not the time. It's your fault. You should have done that. He should have done this. But it's a learning moment when they get back together, maybe for those first organized team activities coming up down the line.
I've been disappointed in how quickly people have been to criticize DJ Moore for not showing up or not exerting himself or really assuming things they know without hearing from DJ Moore. And we haven't heard from DJ Moore. The assumption would be, given his professionalism, that I think he has earned the benefit of the doubt. He's injured or impaired or not available. I don't think that you can jump to conclusions of, boy, he was not giving 100% effort, and now all of a sudden everybody's an expert on route running. and
gosh.
The bottom line is, it was an interception. It was a poor decision, and that's on Caleb Williams. I think it's on the quarterback. The other part of the conversation is that gets overlooked is that if you watch the tape, like I think all of our amateur coaches have hundreds of times, Kyle Monungai's pretty much open short, and had he thrown the check down, we wouldn't be having this conversation. The Bears might not have exit interviews. They'd be preparing for the Seahawks because you're moving the ball down the field. I don't know that I need the finality. I know what happened. It happens all the time. Quarterbacks throw to a spot, and receivers typically end up in that spot. 9 out of 10 times, you're okay. This was the 10th time. It wasn't okay. It was a pick. And DJ Moore went deep, and Caleb Williams threw short, and he should have cut off the route. Well, I understand that. DJ Moore clearly has something that's preventing him from speaking about it. I'll wait to hear from Ben Johnson and Ryan Poles, and that might come as soon as tomorrow.
Yeah, ask them the question.
Were you at all surprised by Rome Odunze's frankness when meeting the media on Monday? He said his exit meeting with wide receivers coach Antoine Randall L. was about making, quote, the plays that come to me, making the most of my opportunities, end quote. Odunze had the 5th highest percentage of drops among players with at least 70 catches this season.
For me personally, it's just obviously individual-wise, wasn't the season I wanted to have. And, when the season comes to an end, like, a lot of those emotions kind of come, flushing through. But for me, it's just, it really hurts just not, coming through in some of those moments throughout the whole season. It's not just last night. It's, several different plays. And not to say I didn't, help this team. I'm not going to sit here and say, I drug us down. I'm the reason. It's not the attitude that I have. But when I'm not making the plays that I feel like I can make and being the player that I feel like I am in this league, it's disappointing.
Your reaction to what you heard there from Rome?
You respect his candor. I appreciate his self-awareness. I think he's approaching the offseason in the right way because I agree with him totally. He was a disappointment. He was the 9th overall pick. And when you are drafted that high, that comes with expectations. He has not developed, for whatever reason, into that difference-making wide receiver that you thought he could be 2 years into his career. Is he on the way? I hope so. Can he stay healthy? We'll see. I do believe he can be that guy. But I also think that you could make the argument that next year coming in, Luther Burden could be the number 1 wide receiver on this team. Or our guy DJ Moore could be the number 1 wide receiver on this team. To me, there's not a big enough separation because it should be clearer that Rome Odunze is that guy. And unfortunately, the indelible impression that he left in your memory from this season, I guess it's twofold, to be fair. Number 1, he was a recipient of the 4th and 8 miracle, that Caleb Williams, the jump man pass, and he did come down with the ball. But number 2, in the last time we saw him, he was dropping a touchdown pass on the opening drive against the Rams that would have made a big difference in that game.
Touchdown pass.
I like his commitment to getting better because he has to get better.
He's got to get better. He should have caught that ball. There's not a question about that. And, yeah, his sophomore season was not what you had expected. I expected a whole lot more. And I'm going to wonder out loud, you always want to stick up for your kids, and you got your kids' backs. Like, is Rome's father a little too involved on social media? And was that a distraction? And did that become potentially a thing?
I thought he handled it really well.
You thought Rome did?
I did.
Dad?
I thought Rome did, and he put it to rest. And I took him at his word about everything that went on, and his dad's opinion isn't his. Listen, You know what this tells me, Dustin, it tells me that Antoine Randall was a truth teller. They sat down, they had an exit interview, and he was told exactly what he told you there.
And it ruined his day.
And you hear his voice,
Yes.
and you hear his hey, he helped
That's
the team.
a great point.
But man, did that guy just tell me everything
You got
wrong
me at a
with-
bad time.
Oh my gosh. It does. It's like the man went into confession and he came out and he had gotten a penance. And, you caught it. Then you interviewed him sitting there. Well, I'm committing sins and I'm not a perfect human. It was just one of those moments. I thought it was as honest as you can be, frankly. And every bit of it is accurate. And he's right. He's got to do more. He's got to get better. He's capable of it. And they probably told him that. Antoine Randall is a guy that has been through a lot of different things in his life. I bet he's a hell of a communicator, coach to talk to about stuff like this. And then he came out and he talked to the media and he was kind of, I really thought that was excellent because he should feel that way. He should feel like he didn't do enough and he's got to be better, and I got to figure out how to get better.
That's the hunger you want in every player. Were you surprised that he revealed he will not undergo surgery?
I mean, that was really wild to me because I just figured, well, there'll be a surgical solution to that.
Stress fracture.
And apparently it's just a time issue. So how are you getting better? How are you going to be better and better and better?
And are you going to be susceptible to that moving forward? We're not doctors,
great
but
question.
that's the one thing I wondered. If you're not going to surgically repair it, does that mean it's going to resurface?
So when are you going to surgically repair it? After next year? It does raise that question. But he claimed he didn't need the surgery. He wasn't required. And that would indicate he's going to come back. Here's the thing about him. He's big. He's strong. I think he's a really good guy. I just think there are times when they have these 50-50 balls and he gets his hands on them and someone pulls a hand down or something. He's got to catch those passes. I know it's difficult. I know he's getting hit in the back and the ball is coming. You got to make that catch. You're in the NFL. And he made those catches in college, and I thought he would be further along right now than he is, but I see a world of potential with the guy.
Yes, I agree. I also wonder what he thinks when he sees Puka.
That's the thing that haunts me, is when he talked about Puka the first time, you heard him kind of like he didn't say it, and he's too good a guy to say it, but in his voice, in his eyes, his expression, I'm so much better than him, it's not even close.
But you're not in college anymore.
And now Puka has
That was a
overtaken
long time
you.
ago.
Yes.